on the streets of New York with Kojak in a moment, after the news headlines read by Phil Roman at ITN.
The little girl whose suffering has symbolized that of Sarajevo has been airlifted out of the city to a hospital in Britain. Irma Hadzimuratovic, crippled and possibly brain damaged by shrapnel, was evacuated by the RAF on the express orders of the British government. Yesterday evening, she arrived in London and was taken straight to Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital, where she's now undergone a series of tests. Her conditions said to be critical. In Brussels, NATO ambassadors have agreed a plan for airstrikes against Serb targets in Bosnia, but they've left the decision about when to attack to the United Nations Secretary-General. Today, the UN said Serb troops had withdrawn from the top of Mount Bjelanica, overlooking Sarajevo, but they're still apparently holding the more important Mount Igman. Ted Dexter has resigned as chairman of the England cricket selectors after presiding over one of the worst series of defeats in living memory. Since Dexter became chairman of selectors in 1989, England has won 9 tests and lost 21. The announcement came at Edgbaston 2 hours before England were beaten by Australia for the 4th time. Fans were jubilant.
It raised the largest cheer of the day. I think everyone's well pleased with it. It's long overdue.
Best news this summer, I reckon.
I'll be back later with a news update.
You're watching Nighttime with the news headlines read by Phil Roman at ITN.
NATO has moved another step closer to taking the first offensive action in its 44-year history in Bosnia. In Brussels, NATO ambassadors have agreed a plan for airstrikes against Serb targets in Bosnia, but they've left the United Nations Secretary-General with the power to veto any action. The former head of a Roman Catholic community home is starting a 7-year sentence for sexual assaults on boys in his care in the 1970s. Brother James Carragher, who's now 52, admitted 12 charges. The judge at Hull Crown Court told him he'd brought public disgrace on himself and on his order. The London stock market is expected to surge to a new high today as investors continue to pile into shares. The 100-share index closed last night 16.6 up on the day at 2986.4, another record closing high. And a skydiver in New Zealand owes his life to a duck pond. Clint Fremantle's main parachute didn't open, and his reserve chute got tangled as he fell 4,000 feet to the ground. By chance, he landed in the pond. It was only 3 feet deep, but that was enough. He survived with just a cut to his eye. That's it for now. I'll be back at 5:30 with the morning news.